Alive.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to Travis Park Church's Sanctuary. We wish we were with you in person, but because of the pandemic, we are going to do this celebration and press conference live online. And we're grateful that you're here. We're really excited that Travis Park Church is turning 175 years old. We have different public servants here with us today, social distancing, not only through Zoom, but here in our sanctuary. And so we are going to have a celebration. We're going to talk about our year-long celebration that's going to be taking place all year long through Travis Park Church. And so to begin this press conference, I want to introduce the senior pastor at Travis Park Church, Reverend Eric.
It's so good to be with you all. Thank you. And thank you to our esteemed guests. It's great to have you here. Councilman Roberto Trevino, Commissioner Tommy Calvert online, I guess we're saying hi to State Representative Diego Bernal. And we're so thankful for our partnership with all of you and that we get to celebrate the work of Travis Park Church here together. We're going to be celebrating all year, as Pastor Gavin said. We're raising hope and anchored in faith. And I'm so excited to be able to celebrate that throughout the year. You know, February 4th, today, February 4th, 1846, John Wesley DeVilbiss was sent to start a church in San Antonio. And Texas was just entering the Union at the time, February 1846. And there were 800 or so people living in San Antonio at the time. As together with First Presbyterian Church, we became the first Protestant congregations in San Antonio. And for 175 years now, we have been a community of Christ seekers and followers who share God's unconditional love and justice in action. I'm so proud of the way that our congregation has done that, from the start of the Methodist mission home, which became Providence Place in the late 1800s, to more recently, Corazon Ministries has celebrated 20 years and serves over 25,000 meals to our friends without homes each year. And we've been working hard for LGBTQ inclusion and equality, both in the church and beyond. And that work, I'm so proud of our resilience that work has continued through fire in the past, through after our roof collapse at the end of 2019 and the subsequent flood, and then now through a pandemic, that work continues. And it happens because of partners like we have here, partners like you. And so thank you so much for being a part of it as we continue this good work undeterred. As Pastor Gavin said, we're going to be celebrating all year long, and there'll be lots of ways to do that. I'm so thankful to be part of this tapestry of compassion across our community that makes San Antonio a better place to live and helps people live into all of who God calls us to be as individuals and as a community. So we thank you, and we thank you for being a part of this. The celebration will continue all year long, and this Sunday at 9:45, you're invited to join us for a special 175th anniversary worship service online. We would love to see you there, and Mayor Ron Nierenberg will be there with the same proclamation that Roberto Trevino, councilman, is presenting today. And we'll have other special guests and former Travis Park folks. So Sunday will be special. Today is special. I'm excited about this year and the ways that we are raising hope and anchored in faith, and we do it together. So thank you.
You know, it's a requirement. If you see a picture of our very first pastor, he had an amazing beard, and it's still being passed down today in our head pastor. I guess it's a requirement here at Travis Park. And we're grateful for our senior pastor and the leadership he's had for the past few years. It's now my honor to introduce our councilman from District 1 of the city of San Antonio, Roberto Trevino, who's been a councilman for about 5 or 6 years with us in District 1, which is in downtown San Antonio and around downtown. And he will read the proclamation from the city of San Antonio and give a few words.
Thank you, Pastor Rogers. It's a real honor to be here. Thank you, Reverend Roy. Really appreciate all that you and this church does on behalf of the community, specifically for the homeless population. It is one of the most meaningful things we as human beings can do for another human being, is to make sure that they are heard, they're seen, that they're taken care of. And I, for one, want to say thank you. I'm also honored to be here with our commissioner and also with State Representative Bernard to help celebrate the amazing history of this church. So I'm here to read the City of San Antonio Proclamation. Whereas Travis Park Church was established in 1846 by Reverend John Wesley DeVilbiss, and since its inception has been a cornerstone of downtown San Antonio. The church tagline is "Raising Hope, Anchored in Faith." And its congregation is dedicated to the mission of unconditional love and justice in action. And whereas citizens of all walks of life are welcome at Travis Park, from individuals who are homeless, disabled, immigrants, or uneducated, to people that are rich, poor, average, or brilliant. And whereas it is fitting to commemorate the founders and honor the clergy, staff, and members for their abiding commitment to the community, for they are truly worthy of recognition and praise. Now, therefore, I, Ron Nierenberg, Mayor of the City of San Antonio, in recognition thereof, do hereby extend sincere congratulations to the congregation of Travis Park Church as they celebrate this milestone occasion and offer best wishes for many more years to come. Happy 175th anniversary. Presented this 4th day of February 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you so much. We'll count it out.
Roberto, you've been a great advocate, not only for the homeless in San Antonio, but for everyone in District 1 in the city of San Antonio. We're grateful for your leadership and glad you're here with us today. You know, what a joy it is to be with you today. I can't believe that when this church was founded in the Bexar County courthouse was their very first service with Methodists. And then a few times later, they formed an alliance with the Presbyterian Church and shared a building together for many years at an old adobe church. And then in time, each church was able to build their own church building. So what a great history. 730 people lived in the city of San Antonio when this was founded. 730 people. You know, I was just watching that Tom Hanks movie that just came out. It just came out on Netflix and Amazon, like News of the World. And he's a newsman from San Antonio, and he goes back to visit his wife's grave. And I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. Even in that time, our church would have already been about 30 years old. And that was just right after the Civil War. And so what a crazy history. And we're so excited. One thing that I really appreciate about Travis Park Church is that our tagline for this 175th year is raising hope and anchored in faith. And we've been anchored in faith for 175 years. But what gives me great joy is looking into the future, looking into the hope of the future, what we can always do to expand the love of God in our community, to create justice for all God's people. And this church has always done that. And we've always never gotten it right. Our history isn't perfect. Our history sometimes has flaws, and our future will too. But each and every day, we practice to be better. We practice hospitality, we practice compassion, so that we as a community can grow together, learn together, and heal one another. And that's what we're all about at Travis Park Church in the next 175 years. Next up, I want to introduce our commissioner, Tommy Calvert. He's been a commissioner in Bexar County for a few years, 4 years, 6 years. And he is going to read the county proclamation, where we actually started in the Bexar County courthouse. So Tommy, come up and welcome you.
Thank you, Pastor Rogers. I appreciate you. Thank you, Pastor Vaught. Appreciate your service as well. First, giving honor to God, to our pastors, Representative Bernal, Councilman Trevino, and all of those who are sharing with us online. It is an exciting thing for me to be a part of today's celebration of the 175th anniversary of Travis Park Church. As Jesus said in the Gospel of Luke, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to share good news with the poor, to set liberty to the captives, to bind up the brokenhearted, and to release the bound from darkness. It's this Jesus agenda that Travis Park has made successful in this community. Established in 1846, Travis Park Church has always been grounded in human compassion and clear-sighted vision to our future. They are remarkably a church that is both historical and modern all at the same time. And that's not easy to accomplish. You see, the people of Travis Park continue to make the world a better place through transformation of self and community service. They serve the homeless. They serve thousands of immigrants trying to find a home in America. They serve the undocumented. They serve the gay, straight, black, white, and brown, all alike. And together, they served with me, people like Pastor Rogers, to say no to child detention centers in Precinct 4. What an incredible legacy that we all share. The people of Travis Park Church break down the walls of prejudice and embrace all our brothers and sisters. It's really beautiful to see unconditional love and justice in action. Travis Park's committed to justice means that their congregation strives to remove political, cultural, and societal barriers both in the church and in the community that prevent people from being who God created them to be. The closer their lives mirror the life of Jesus Christ, the more available they are to experience and become God's new disciple. And we need a lot more of those. Travis Park Church is affiliated with the Reconciling Ministries Network, a group of congregations and groups worldwide which have adopted statements welcoming people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. With a rich history mirroring that of San Antonio, they have historical roots. They're a modern church concerned about the current world that we live in. That's how they're both historical and modern at the same time, because they embrace a shared history of inclusion, like those who have gone before them. It gives me goosebumps to think about the fact that I represent, as the first African-American commissioner, a church that has been fighting for inclusion since their first church service in the Bexar County courthouse. Today, the Travis Park community is making history again as a progressive San Antonio ministry hosting same-sex marriages and open inclusion. Their doors are open to all of God's children. I think that is a really important thing and sets them very much apart. They open their doors to the more than 23,000 asylum seekers. They help women in recovery. The list just goes on and on. It's remarkable to see a community prosper and thrive in the footprints of Jesus and following his proclamation from the book of Leviticus to love your neighbor as yourself. Simply put, Travis Park is walking the walk and a living example of the Jesus agenda. And that's why it makes me so happy to be here with you to celebrate your legacy of love in action. So I'll read for you the proclamation in the name and by the authority of the Commissioner's Court of Bexar County. It reads, whereas in 1846 in Texas, just as Texas was becoming a state, the Methodist Episcopal Annual Conference in Houston sent Reverend John Wesley DeVilbiss as a missionary to form a church in San Antonio de Bexar. who in 1844 preached the first Protestant sermon ever heard in San Antonio, and in 1846 arranged for regular use of the Bexar County courthouse and organized his congregation at that location in the heart of the city that then had 730 residents. And whereas in 1847, Reverend DeVilbiss shared a church with the Presbyterians known as the Old Adobe on Commerce Street, and afterwards preached there. Whereas Travis Park Church is grounded in history and vision and continues to thrive as a downtown church in San Antonio through acts of unconditional love and justice in action. Whereas today the people of Travis Park Church work to make the world a better place through transformation of self and community, serving over 800 homeless individuals a week with warm meals, medical care, and supportive services provided through Corazon Ministries. Providing a home for women in recovery through the ministry of Deborah's House, sheltering 23,000 asylum seekers coming from San Antonio, traveling to their designated host homes in 2019, and welcoming people of all sexual orientation and genders, identities daily as thriving members of the congregation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Commissioner's Court of the County of Bexar hereby recognizes and proclaims Travis Park Church and celebrates with it its 175th anniversary, signed on February 4th as a thriving congregation in San Antonio de Bexar. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Calvert. Right now, we're going to play a small video for people to see, just a few seconds long. This sees every church building that Travis Park has been a part of. Enjoy. Wow, what an amazing history. Next up, we want to bring our good friends from Echo Public Relations to talk about Travis Park's 175th year, the new website and campaign that will be kicked off the next 12 months. Thank you, Christian.
Hello, and thank you so much. My name is Christian Reed Agba. I am the co-founder of ECHO Public Relations. I'm excited to join the 175th campaign and committee to help raise information and hope for Travis Park Church. Just as Commissioner Calvert and our lovely Councilman Trevino are tasked with bringing the community together, I look to bring together corporate partners and neighbors in support of this historical space. I am so excited to bring inclusive opportunities for our San Antonio community to engage with Travis Park Church's history, to learn more about ways that they can get involved with the many programs, and to encourage giving across the city and the state. We are excited that ECHO Public Relations has been offered the opportunity to engage with this historic congregation, and we look forward to inviting you all to travispark.org/175 to learn more ways to give time, money, and opportunity to a very necessary congregation, a congregation that has created opportunities for inclusivity and for growth in our downtown San Antonio, the city, and the state. Please visit travispark.org/175 for information over the next 9 months and give as much as you can. We encourage you to participate in programs, to encourage your friends and family to participate in programs, which can be just as little as sharing posts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much, Travis Park Church, for all that you've done. Thank you, Commissioner Calvert and Councilman Trevino, for your assistance in these amazing proclamations. And thank you, San Antonio, for allowing Travis Park Church to be the change that we want to see. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Christian. And wow, what a great family we have around us in downtown San Antonio. One person that I want to introduce next is our State Representative Diego Bernal. I first met Diego outside Woodlawn Lake. Diego wanted to learn a little bit about what it was like to be homeless, and so therefore he set up an encampment where he slept there for a few nights, and I went out with him to participate in that journey. I would say maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and we formed a friendship in the middle of the night, eating tacos that were delivered to us from people wanting to assist, and also in that act of solidarity. And he was at the time, the District 1 council person, and now is our state representative, almost representing the same area. So it's now my joy through Zoom, I think live from Austin, Texas, our state representative, Diego Bernal. Welcome, Diego.
All right, I think you guys can see me now. Thank you so much for having me and for accommodating me this way. I don't have a whole lot to add. I want to thank the pastors, the councilman, the commissioner, Christian, for allowing me to do this, but so much has already been said. I think aside from congratulations, what I really want to say is in reflecting about the church and what it means, the church doesn't just develop a personal relationship with God, but it helps people develop a working relationship with God, which is special. And those lessons and that practice extends not just to one's life, but to one's life's work. And I'm humbled to be a part of that and humbled to be a part of this. I too have a proclamation. I won't read it in full because so much of it has been covered, but I will read the relevant parts. And of course, we will deliver it tomorrow. It is from the state of Texas. Whereas united by their shared faith and strong traditions, the members of this notable house of worship have established a variety of commendable programs that foster fellowship and offer help to the marginalized, the homeless, and the immigrant community. The congregation is committed to inclusivity and social justice, and it strives to remove political, cultural, and societal barriers both in church and in the community. As an affiliate of the International Reconciling Ministries Network, the church has adopted statements welcoming people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. And whereas countless San Antonio residents have looked to Travis Park Church for spiritual guidance over the years, and it is a pleasure to join in honoring the church at this special time in its rich history. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the 175th anniversary of Travis Park Church be commemorated and that its members be extended sincere best wishes for the future. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations, and it's good to see everybody.
Hey, Diego, how's it going in Austin?
It's okay. I think it's always going to be rough and tumble, and it's a time when your faith is tested, and it's when you need it the most. So it's appropriate for me to be here with you today.
Well, thank you, Diego, for all that you do, and thank you, Commissioner Calvert and Councilman Roberto Trevino, for being here. I wish we could be with you all in person where you wouldn't have all this technical cords and cameras, but we are going to do our best to celebrate. Hey, we want to remind you that on Sunday at 9:45 in the morning, we are going to have our worship service online with our congregation and those who can join us to celebrate our 175th worship service. Pastor Vogt will be preaching, and we'll have a great time with past pastors giving prayers that represented Travis Park in the past. We will have great music with our worship team, and just a fun celebration with all of our congregants. And so you can join us at 9:45 this Sunday. Again, you can go to travispark.org/175 to contribute to our capital campaign and also learn more about all the events that we will be doing. We'll be doing safe events all throughout the year, including art galleries and social distancing in parks, and whatever we are allowed to do in person, we will try to do, but we'll also have virtual events to celebrate each and every month of this 175th year. So right now, I'm going to bring up our co-pastor, Pastor Valerie, to lead us in a closing prayer.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I was muted. Technology, learning how to do all this. Friends, it's a joy to be able to be with you virtually. I'm grateful that technology enables us to celebrate in the midst of a pandemic, because celebrate we will. This is an incredible milestone. I'm honored to serve as one of the pastors of Travis Park Church, and just wanted to say happy birthday, anniversary. Great to celebrate. Grateful for all of the folks in the city who have joined us in this milestone. Grateful to be partners in caring for our neighbors in this way. So friends, will you join with me in prayer? God, we give you thanks for 175 years of Travis Park Church. There is so much history in our church and in our city. We're grateful for the ways that neighbors have been cared for and lives positively impacted because of Travis Park Church. We also recognize that we have made mistakes. We recommit this day to the ministry we are blessed to do as Travis Park Church. We recommit to partnerships with our neighbors so we can continue to care for those who need it most. May we love others well and do justice. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Valerie, for joining us. You're a vital part of not only this ministry here at Travis Park, but at Trinity University, where she serves to serve students there in all ways possible. So thank you, Pastor Valerie. And now we are going to open it up for anybody who has questions on Zoom. I think we have Amelia from WAI. If there's any questions, we will take this time to ask those questions now. And I don't know if we can do that. We can probably do that once we end this live feed for people on Zoom. So thank you for joining us. If you're on Facebook right now, we'll put this video on YouTube later to watch. Thank you for walking us through those technical difficulties. We are all new at this, and so thank you for bearing with us. Again, you can go to our Sunday worship service online at 9:45 a.m. and hear great messages from many people, including our mayor, Ron Nierenberg, who will be speaking and also giving a proclamation as well. So that's all happening this Sunday at 9:45 on Facebook Live and YouTube. And throughout the year, we will celebrate. Thank you, Pastor Eric. And thank you for being with us. And we'll ask questions for people on Zoom.